Necronomicon awaits.
A ritual must be performed.
Seems fairly obvious.
Batu, Miranda.
I told you I would find you.
Nani?
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
It's showtime.
What's your name? What? What is your name?
We are men of misfortune.
What is going on, misfortunate listeners? I am your fearless leader, Tyler Campbell.
I am your co-host, Riley Wallen, and to the left of me I have...
the brain and dipshit, Jake.
Today we have a special guest with us, Mutilated by Zombies. We are blessed to have Josh, Jason, and our boy Greg in the studio with us. So what is going on, guys?
Not a lot, man. How you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Why don't you go ahead and just talk about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, we're a band. We've been around for going on 13 years now. Dubuque-based. Some brutal death metal, old school with a little new school. You're there.
Hell yeah.
So, got some new stuff coming up here.
Do you guys have a release date on that album yet?
We don't have a exact date. It's kind of projected to be like not until spring or summer of 2023, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a long fucking time.
We'll just need some stars to align for it. Yeah, it'll come along.
So how's the whole creative process going with that? Do you have pretty much everything done, or is it just like doing vocals and stuff?
As far as being recorded and everything, it's just on to the mix and the mastering process.
Okay.
Sync up some distro. There's so much more to it than just the music side of it. I wish it were that easy, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah.
I feel you there, man. I think my band's album has almost been done for about over a year now, and we're still waiting on like our final mixes to come back, and we haven't even like begin to decide where we're gonna master it or anything, and then distribution and all that shit. So I mean, probably like next year is what we're looking at now.
So what got you guys into this style of music? I mean, what initially brought the band together? What was the whole driving factor with the entire Mutilated by Zombies?
Well, it kind of started off. Me and one of my good friends, Eric Demers, we just wanted to start. We were listening to a lot of like 90s death metal, late 80s, early 90s death metal, and we're like, let's just try something out, you know. So we got like a drum machine, and then he played guitar, I played guitar. We kind of did trade-off vocals. We enlisted Jason for bass, and then the search for the drummer was on, you know, and we didn't play a live show until after we finally got in touch with Greg, and he was already playing thrash metal, so the death metal came pretty easy for him. And
yeah, at the time I was playing with a band called Burn the Ailment, and they were like high school buddies of mine, and was messing around with them. And then they kind of took a hiatus, and so I was in sort of drummer like band limbo, and I was jamming with a few other different people, and then and then Josh hit me up, and we met up down in the Sadeville area there, and then I took him out to my parents' place that I was at the time. Jeez, so many years.
We set up in the garage, and we just fucking blast beating away. We seemed to gel right away with playing with each other. So yeah, it's been ever since.
Had a bunch of songs ready to go already, and I just kind of went to town on it, and they were digging what I was putting down. So
chemistry is one of the hardest parts about finding like members when it comes to a band. Also, coming up with the name. I mean, how did you guys come up with Mutilated by Zombies? It's a fucking brutal fucking name.
So that's another funny story. So the guy who I had mentioned earlier, who I started the band with the idea of the band with, obviously he's no longer with us, but he actually coined the name, and we were talking about it, and we were trying to think. We're like, everything's already taken, and you know, I think he was just going to be like, look, what could be the most absurd thing that'll stick out? Like, as it sounds, you know, kind of dumb, you know, like, let's just make it ridiculous and blast people. So he said it, and we started rolling with it, and then the years went on, you know, and we just kept it going and whatnot. He's always come up with killer names and shit. He actually just put out some stuff for his own music, which is called Sulfur and Rot. And I will have to say, I think that name's pretty badass too. So.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fuck
pretty
yeah.
brutal. I like that.
So, Greg was telling us when we met Greg was at Jake's wedding, and we got fucking annihilated with him.
Hell yeah, we did.
That was a good time. That was a great fucking
And
time.
he was telling me that you guys worked with Cameron, Big Chocolate. So, what was that like?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Cameron's a good guy. You know, we were down at Flat Black Studios for Scripts of Anguish and recording the drums. We had booked 4 days for drums, and ended up finishing it in 2. And then Josh, you ended up doing a bunch of vocals down there.
Yeah, we did the whole. I did the whole album vocals down there. But yeah, he came down. I mean, I think he came just for that, for the record. Our friend Steve had actually managed him or something in the past, so he was friends with him. And yeah, we just he kind of linked us up, and he flew out here and he stayed for a week or so. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We were lucky enough to get him on track too. Yeah, he didn't want to do it at first, but I got him to do guest vocals on.
Disfiguring the Goddess,
Nice,
man.
nice.
He has got some fucking brutal fucking vocals, man.
Dude, like 2012, 2013, when he Disfiguring the Goddess dropped those 2 albums back to back. Those were both my fucking albums for that summer. Like I could not stop fucking listening to them.
Josh and I actually used to, like, in the early days of YouTube when he was getting going, like, we found him on YouTube. I'm like, dude, holy shit.
Yeah, it was I Declare Goddess. You guys know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yes,
Them
dude.
and I Declare War's vocalist, their collab.
This guy's fucking cool,
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
thought
it was pretty cool. It was kind of surreal, hanging out with them. It was like, oh man, but it was a lot of fun. I went and saw Metallica with them too. Like after we recorded, we went and saw Metallica at Soldier Field.
Oh,
That's
nice.
fucking
That's what's
sick.
up.
Hell yeah.
whole ass
Yeah,
fucking
our
day
friend
with them. That's
took
what's
us.
up.
It was a good time.
I remember,
Absolutely.
I think it was like 2012 or 2013. Me and Tyler and I went to Warped Tour, and he was actually playing as Big Chocolate that year.
Oh yeah.
And I randomly like walked up to his tent and just saw this little guy wearing like a flat bill and sunglasses, and just like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, just want to like check out some stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'm Big Chocolate. I'm like, oh shit, dude, can I get a picture? Like, and everything. Like starstruck for a second. And I remember I came back home and told one of my buddies who was really like a big fan of like his techno music, and he just kind of flipped the fuck
which
out
is
on me.
great album, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Yeah.
So being a 3-piece band, it's incredible that you guys have been able to find a way to just sound so full. What type of difficulties do you come across being a 3-piece band and then trying to find every way to sound and, just develop that full group sound?
Well, many difficulties.
Yes.
But yeah, not having that sort of secondary guitar part is definitely a challenge for writing around. We kind of have to pick and choose our battles a little bit. Some things that sound really great for like an album sort of deal, sometimes we have to sacrifice on that end, or otherwise if it's, we can't do that, it sounds way too cool, we got to leave it, and then we kind of got to do a juggling act to figure out how we're going to do it live.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
right.
for example, like guitar stuff, there might be a lead guitar part, but without the other, what should be the second guitar, which is on the album, without that live, it could sound hollow. So we might not play, we might choose not to play something that might compromise the music like that.
But the other side of it is having a bass player like Jason. He can supplement so many things, and I don't know.
So it does work.
Stuff,
It's kind of part of what made us the way that we are, was being able to, without having that second like guitar player, whether it would have been a lead or a rhythm, as we kind of had to figure out how we can mesh everything together, and I think that helped us kind
a lot of split parts,
evolve into our own kind of sound, and style, how we work out songs, write songs, and compose.
Oh, for sure, man. A lot of other big death metal bands like Dying Fetus have been able to pull that off in the past. So I've seen them live, I think one time, yeah, and they sounded just as good as they did on the album. So fuck.
It's remarkable.
Yeah,
Those guys are just
Oh yeah,
so
for
good.
sure.
So I saw a playthrough video that Jason posted a couple weeks ago, I think, or something, a couple days ago. I'm not sure how long.
That on Facebook.
Yeah. I was trying to show Riley it the other night. How long have you guys been fucking playing? Because I just watching you that was insane.
Like our individually, like our instruments.
Yeah.
Shit. I think I picked up a bass for the first time when I was like 18, 34 now.
Jesus.
So I mean, it's been quite a while. I mean, yeah, a lot of practice. I'll still be the first person to tell you I'm not worth shit.
Go fuck yourself, sir. You were fantastic.
That's the thing though. There's always progress.
Oh yeah,
always practice, man. Yeah, geez, I started playing percussion when I was 9. So it's been 21 years, 22 now coming up on. So yeah, it seems like forever, and obviously is basically a lifetime ago. But yeah, still so much to learn. There always is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I started playing guitar, I think, when I was like 11. I got my first guitar, but I didn't really take it too serious, until my teens, like maybe 14. And then I used to play in a band called Strychnine, so we were really busy for a lot of years, and I was just doing that forever. And it was kind of after that period, right around when we formed Mutilated, and that is when I really started to learn my instrument. Like, I mean, I could always dick around in that, but I've learned so much even just in the past 10 years, more than I did in the whole 20 plus I've been playing. So
did I got a question for all of you guys, actually, really quick, because as a musician, I've personally dealt with this myself. Did you guys ever have a moment that was kind of like your tipping point? Like, you spent like so long at only being able to play at a certain ability, and then one day, like, you just kind of, like, I don't know, descended into where you felt like you were good, like you felt like you were picking up all the techniques and stuff like that. I mean,
I feel like it's kind of a constant up and down for me all the time. Where I'll get comfortable to a point where I'm like, I can pull a lot of this cool shit off, and then I'm like, I want to learn. Me being a pick style player, I also try to incorporate, especially with like taps and stuff like that, like hybrid picking. I want to try to incorporate that. That stuff's not easy. It's just I get so frustrated, and then I just want to stop.
No, I hear you, man. Definitely.
I'm putting everything down. I'll just go sit in the corner.
Yeah, it's important to make sure that you take a break when you need it, because it's really easy to get burnt out. Especially if you're struggling with something, sometimes you just need that breather and then come back into it, and then it'll just be like, oh, well, what was I struggling with this for?
Right. Just thinking about it too much.
So do you guys, when you go on show, do you guys still get nervous at all?
Yeah, for sure.
And my take on that, as far as like a whole band as a whole, I guess sometimes would be the leady stuff would be like, one time Greg wrote a song that we'd released on an EP, and it was just insane and had these crazy leads, and I could not, I couldn't replicate it live. So stuff like, I think that I reached my threshold, but since then we've kind of done some similar stuff too. So it's going back up, it is like Jason said, it's an up and down kind of thing.
Right.
Go ahead, Jake.
So, see, after seeing you guys live, like, it was fan-fucking-tastic. Do you guys still get nervous at all before shows?
Oh, every time.
How do you guys, like, get over that, like, nervous state? Like, do you just put in your head state, like, I know we fucking sound like we're fucking good shit.
Get used to that feeling, as at least for me. I don't know about these guys, but, it's like, you kind of get those butterflies going again, and it's like, oh, shit, and then you just kind of ride the wave of that, and it's basically the whole show is like that.
Oh, no shit.
It's like two different stages for me. It's like the free going on stage, and then like that point where you're on stage and you're just ready to either get like your first sample, your first note. Like that's completely different.
Oh, really?
Once that hits, you're set.
So to tie in with Jake's question, you hear a lot of like freak out moments with bands, Five Finger Death Punch. I don't even want to fucking talk about them, but you hear you see the lead vocalist freaking the fuck out and grabbing drumsticks. Have you ever had a terrible moment on stage where you wanted to freak out, nothing was going right, you were missing a fuck ton of notes, just moments where you you thought you couldn't take any more fucking bullshit and it was almost the end?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, between for all of us, I've broken strings on stage.
Yeah.
And just been fucking livid.
Yeah, but it's more like you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah. I mean, that's
you're gonna have bad shows. It's gonna happen. The technical malfunctions. It's just gonna happen.
And we hit the show that you guys were at. You broke a string and yelled "fucker."
Yeah.
Or something.
That was it.
So see,
yeah, all the time.
I just said that, and I really did that in real life. But we had the power go out during our sets. You never know what's gonna happen.
You always joke about the unplugged set at that point.
Yeah,
you have to. Yeah, it's all right.
So there's been breaking points, sure, but
yeah,
it's something you gotta hold.
Yeah,
I guess
shrugs through it.
Yep.
So what was your worst moment? What was your worst fuck this?
Oh man.
I'd say Disaster House.
Oh,
Are you guys familiar with the Disaster House?
Never heard of it. No.
I don't. That place probably doesn't even exist anymore.
It certainly doesn't.
Wasn't that place borderline condemned?
It was good.
Yeah, it was a condemned house, and they threw shows in the basement.
It was.
I mean, dude, it was straight up. The way that I always explain it is,
it's like SLC punk.
Oh, it's like
okay, gotcha.
Everything. Yeah, like Ninja Turtles.
Too, dude. Ninja Turtles, the first one, skateboarding around and shit. That was this place, and they had shows in the basement.
Yeah, you walk in and there's kids literally skateboarding in the living rooms, doing wall rides and shit.
Nice.
There's people, drinking, smoking. You go down into this cave.
DVDs.
Yeah, you go down to this cave basement, and then
we had a good time. But.
Yeah.
They put us, as the big headliner, and we ended up playing at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh shit!
All pissed off. I got drunk and I was pissed. Yeah, we got there early, and we were just fed up with it. Then the power went out. That's another one. The power went out. That would be the ultimate for me, anyways. I'm sure these guys might even agree. So.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to handle that or be able to deal with that. I completely understand. We've had episodes. I mean, like you guys have said, not every show is going to be great. I mean, we do shows weekly. I mean, every week we're doing something. We're always trying to keep up and shit. And we fucked the dog so many times on this show, dude. I mean, it's been so fucking bad.
Way more than I want to count. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's rough.
We've talked about it before, but we had this episode called Episode 0, and it was the first time we were really trying to fucking get everything going, and we got too fucked up, and we recorded, and then we got fucked up, and the studio owner came out to us, and she was like, "Hey, you guys got to get back in there." I'm like, "I'm fucking drunk. What do you want from me right now?" We got to do this because we need it for the radio station. Get your fucking asses back in there. So we did it, and it was the worst fucking thing I've ever been a part of. I mean, it was a fucking train wreck the entire fucking time.
Back to the worst shows and stuff like that. I forgot about Jiggerfest.
Oh man, we played a show outdoors. It was in the outskirts of Galena.
Yeah,
I think
it was it was right on the river.
It was basically down at the bottom of Chestnut Mountain Ski, the bottom of the hill of Chestnut. It was right along the river there. It was nighttime. It was a friend of ours' birthday party or something, and the only lights that they had for the stage, which was just the fucking grass on the floor in front of the ground.
Been there.
They had these lights that were just on the ground and kind of tilted up at us, and they just attracted so many gnats and bugs. We got annihilated by little jiggers.
Yeah, we all got
fuck that.
Airplanes were annihilated for a month.
I got to butt in. That was actually Dredge we played with.
Yeah, it was Dredge.
Yeah, it was.
And we also have a show coming up with Dredge.
That's what our show was
at Monks. So
when is that going to be? When is that going to be? The show at Dredge? Because I want this dude to see you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It'll be sick. We haven't played with Dredge for God ever.
Years. It's been years.
Do you guys know what date that's gonna be?
August 6th.
August
Oh,
6th.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll fucking be there, man.
I'll be
I
off
will be
work.
there.
Yes, sir.
You better call in, Tyler.
Dredge made a vague post about it, but I imagine there's going to be like an event page and all that coming probably this week. So we'll spread it around for sure.
For sure.
right
Just
on, man.
send it to us, man. We'll promote the fuck out of it, man.
So speaking of monks, when I saw you guys there was crowd surfers there. I've never fucking seen it at a local bar in Dubuque. What is like the most quote unquote craziest or memorable thing you guys done or seen at a show?
Oh man, well, the lift. I think we played with Exorcist and
That guy climbed
it was
the
Schneider.
ceiling.
It was
Schneider climbed
climbing, like,
Riffworm.
there's a bunch of
Riff.
lights.
Oh, your fucking brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law.
That was pretty sweet. But one of our good friends, Zach, did a backflip once off of fucking.
That was a strict 9 show.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I think it was a mutilated.
That was strict 9 show.
Never mind.
That was a strict 9 show. You backflipped off the stage into the crowd.
There's been some crazy stuff.
That was my first strict 9 show. That's why
At Monk's last time when we had that microphone punch me in the mouth.
Oof.
Oh, shit.
I broke my guitar string. Crazy.
Nice, nice.
I mean, outside of just the show, there's shit that happens, with just like out back or wherever you're driving home or something. Like this poor fella's fucking broken his hand and shit.
Or that lady who broke her head open outside that death fest.
Oh my
shit.
God. Oh my
Wait,
God.
what?
I mean, if we're talking anything like from when we're on stage and seeing crowd stuff, I guess I can really just say that I don't see a whole lot.
Yeah, all he sees is this.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Fucking mosh pits.
There's not a lot of the crowd that I see too many times. I mean, I gaze out there occasionally, but I don't see a whole lot.
So how long? So how did you guys learn how to scream? You, Josh and Jason, like when I listen to you guys, like your dual vocals are fucking like in sync. It's really fucking good.
Thank you. I don't know. I just kind of, for me, I just kind of had to do it. I thought when we first started this, and I never stopped. And it's just I learned how to I learned what worked for me and didn't hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't have a sore throat, and I just kind of stuck with that. And as the years progressed, I just slowly keep trying new things. Make sure it doesn't hurt me is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just kind of figured it out, I guess.
Yeah, I actually did a lot more backup vocals back in our first album days, and then I kind of gave up because I got like super discouraged and I didn't do any vocals whatsoever for years until the last one show, or the last two shows we played. The last 2 shows that we did were the first times that I've done backup vocals in probably 10 years.
Yeah, so that's also really cool of a compliment for that. Gives them
Jason, don't stop screaming. Don't stop screaming, dude. You sound fucking good. I couldn't do better. I could not do better. And we've done metal bands, and I was a vocalist, and I can't keep up with it, dude. I'll do, we'll do like 2 or 3 songs. By the end of it, I can't. My fucking throat hurts so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Say, as a metalhead for like, I don't know.
I give my credit to this guy because fucking he's taught me some shit he knows that's helped me out a lot.
Hell yeah, man.
So we're gonna move forward with trying to keep doing the dual shit, and Jason's vocals are on the upcoming album as well. So
Fucking A, man.
pretty cool.
It's awesome. I actually, I kind of want to turn the light to Jason for a second because I'm actually kind of new to the Dubuque area. I just moved here back in October, and I started working at a Volkswagen dealership in town. And my first day there, I had this guy, John Heller. He was a server. Yeah. My first day there, he's like, dude, you fucking remind me so much of this guy that used to work here in parts. He's like, he's into death metal, he's into all this stuff, and he's so fucking cool and down to earth, and you're exactly like him. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. He's like, yeah, he had a band. It was like something by zombies, and I'm like, okay, like, right on. So I've been there for the last few months, and like apparently all the guys know you there. They really like you. They said they miss you. They want you to come back.
Oh yeah, dude, a lot of I'm gonna be honest with you. I hated that job.
Yeah, that's what they were saying too.
I love the people that I work with.
Yeah,
those were awesome.
I was talking to my buddy Jordan today. I'm sure you know Jordan. They work in the shop. That's my homie, man. That dude's he likes to rage a little bit, but he's a good guy. He was telling me today, he's like, you should ask Jason how he feels about Kevin. And I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about Kevin?
Kevin doesn't listen to our show, so go ahead, bro.
Feel free to say whatever you want.
That's a conversation that I'll have with you off camera.
Okay, fair enough.
I worked, Jake and I work at John Deere, and we were a part of the strike. So that's what I did during my strike is I went and worked at McGrath, and I worked next to Kevin for, I don't know, like 3 weeks. And
yeah, I got this guy a job over there because I'm actually a tech in the shop with Jordan, and he was laid off from John Deere or whatever. I'm like, well, they're fucking hiring for parts. I mean, I've done that. You can do that too, whatever. So he got on there, and
worst fucking job I've ever had in my entire life. Go, Jake. You're up.
I guess we're on this off subject about music and stuff. Besides like playing, what do you guys do in your free time? Like hobbies, I guess part-time jobs, obviously, but
I'll start with this one. I'm huge into retro gaming.
Oh, dude,
no
right
shit.
here, man, right here. What's your poison?
I mean, I have probably over 300 NES carts.
Nice. You got some high rollers in there, like some Flintstones or Jetsons, anything like that, or?
I got. I don't have the crazy expensive Flintstones one, but I have like all the other ones. I have I don't think I have any duplicates, but like over 300 cartridges.
Nice.
And I hardly even play them. I have a retro Pi now with, you know what I mean?
It's a lot easier. At the end of the day, it's a lot easier just to have the emulators sometimes. So I feel you.
Play, man. And I found one that has zero glitch, so I spend a lot of my time doing that. I'm also very into just home recording. So I'm obsessed with the Beatles. So I'm like recording Beatles songs, just to learn my program.
Right on.
So making metal and recording rock and roll.
Hell fucking yeah.
Hell yeah.
Playing retro games. So
nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about music is that, it can start out as a hobby and then evolve into something more. So like the whole music thing is definitely very all encompassing as far as, the sort of work play relationship to it. But normally, if I'm not doing music or writing music, I'll, just like nerd out on like nature documentaries or just, the most random shit. Like, I don't know.
I remember when we were at the
I
wedding,
like to
you
learn
kept.
shit. It's mostly boring, and I just kind of zone out. And
if you ever have a question about nature or space, ask me.
Sure. Yep.
Oh, for sure.
fucking space.
I remember when we were at the wedding, Greg, you kept bringing up like random nature facts, and you kept calling somebody Neil deGrasse Tyson. I was just fucking dying laughing the whole time.
Yeah, that's classic, dude.
So what about you, Jason? What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of the sports guy in the band. I guess I could call myself. Like I don't know. I fucking love hockey, love football, love baseball. Fucking play a lot of sports video games. Watch a lot of sports.
All right, well, hold on. Who's your hockey team?
I'm probably watching sports or playing video games.
So who's your hockey team?
Sports based?
Sports video games.
Sports video games. Go ahead.
All right, who's your favorite hockey team?
Chicago Blackhawks.
God,
my man! My man! Fuck you!
Fuck you! You're cool. Fuck you.
We got at least one Hawks fan.
One too many. One too many.
Jake took me to his my first ice hockey rink game, and I got really fucking drunk, and it was who played? It was Chicago versus.
It was Chicago versus the Saints, yeah. Sorry.
And I was the only fucking Chicago fan in that entire fucking building. I promise you that, dude.
And we got glass seats.
Are you talking like the Chicago Blackhawks, or are you talking like...
No, unfortunately not, dude. I wish I could go see a Blackhawks game, dude. I wish I could go see a fucking Blackhawks game. But it was...
I've never been myself, so...
I went to one, and they played the worst team in the league, and the Avalanche won that year, and thank you!
Oh, go fuck yourself.
There were 3 of us there going, fuck you, Blackhawks!
an entire sea of Chicagoans.
Yeah, it was not a good time. But
So your guys' album, you have one album on Spotify. Where are the rest of them? What's going on with that?
That's funny. We actually self-released all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the first one we released in, I think, 2012. Is that right?
Yep.
And we didn't know shit. So our idea of releasing it was getting a bunch of physical CDs made and throwing a show in town and selling the CDs.
Right. Yeah, we never.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was that, and then some stuff ended up online. After that, we did Cymatics of Death. Please, by all means, type in Mutilated by Zombies Bandcamp, and go on there and get Cymatics of Death. Don't fucking pay for it. Yeah. It's make your own price. Download it. We put it on there for free because we want people to hear it. Because as the years went on, the technology is now here, and also I will say that Scripts was our first album that we put out with an actual label and not self-release. So that's why that one is so available everywhere. Yeah.
That's what I've been listening to for like the last 2 fucking weeks. Because I know that you guys have more albums. I know. I mean, other than the fact that you guys have been a band for 13 fucking years, like I got on Spotify. I'm like, holy fuck, there's only one album. Where is the rest of their shit? I don't know why I didn't think about checking Bandcamp, but Spotify's been like my main jam pretty much for forever. But I'm definitely gonna have to go and check those albums out. How many albums do you guys currently have total?
Actually available for listen though. I mean, probably
we've got 3 full-length albums.
We got Better Off a Corpse, Cymatics of Death,
and then we did an EP.
We did an EP called Decimation Sentence, and then we did Scripts of Anguish. Okay. So we have 4 and the 5th on the way.
Nice. So, what was I gonna say? Fuck. Hold on. Drawing a blank.
I got you. So you guys play with a lot of bands. Like, have you guys played with anyone like your influencers? Like people you look up to? And who are those guys?
Oh my god, yeah. Macabre is a big one.
I've seen Macabre before. They're pretty badass.
Yeah, that was a huge one for us. We've played with. I mean, if you want to get technical, like, but there's T-shirts that have like Possessed on the back, and like we just didn't play the same day as they did at the Death Fest.
Nice.
A big one for me was Allegiant.
Yep, we played with
Allegiant. Fuck, that was like 8 years ago.
Yep.
Like that was when they were just really starting to blow up. I mean, I guess let's put it this way: that was post tour bus days, I think, for them.
Dude, those guys are fucking insane live. Like they're.
I mean, how we brought Pathology to Dubuque. Yeah, that was
nice.
Fucking huge.
Hell yeah.
And I've been listening to Pathology for years, so that was a big one for me. But this is gonna throw you guys for a loop. This is hilarious. So I'm a big '90s guy too, right? '90s rock and shit. And so we get a phone call once, like some band drops off, like you guys familiar with the Sandy Hook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a Hooker Fest or something, and like band dropped off. So this dude's hitting us up like, "Will you play this show?" So we go there, we're playing, and I realize that we're opening up for this. It's this guy who's in the band Collective Soul.
Oh no
my
shit.
fucking god!
I fucking love Collective Soul.
Oh, me too, man.
I'm setting my gear up in front of this guy, the guitar player of Collective Soul, his fucking gear, and I'm watching him while he's watching me do our sound check, and I'm just, right in this guy's fucking face. It was so fucking funny. And then I went up and talked to him. I'm like, man, you're like a huge influence to me. And he was just like, okay. Like, I think he thought I was trolling him or something, but I was like being totally sincere.
100% genuine, and he's just like, yeah, sure you are. Fuck, man.
Dude, I grew up listening to a lot of Collective Soul. That was like one of my dad's favorite bands. He had all their CDs. Like we'd go on long trips. He would play them. Even as an adult, like I love them now more than ever. Like they're a really good fucking band, and they don't really get a lot of appreciation. Yes.
Familiar with the song Heavy?
I love that song.
I did a full like cover recording of it, like where I play every instrument and sing and shit.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Like that goes back to my home recording stuff. Like, well, what can I do? Collective Soul, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I can't forget to mention that we did play with Entomb.
Oh yeah, we played with
Entomb,
but we still played with Lars. So
yeah,
the vocalist of Entomb. That's a heavy one.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So other than being a 3-piece, what sets you apart from metal bands, like the metal community? Like, what is like the draw to you guys?
I mean, I think maybe just bringing back some of that late 80s, early 90s sort of stuff, but trying to sort of put a newer twist on it, I suppose. You're still going to have your straight up death metal, and you're going to have some just regular grooving parts, but then every now and again, sprinkle a little seasoning on it, and I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that comes from, like, what I mentioned before about, our sound kind of being a collaboration of all of our writing styles.
Yeah.
I mean, because
That's very true.
We all listen to, obviously, heavy shit, but we're not all necessarily into the exact same thing per se, you know what I mean? Where like I'm big into a lot of like techie stuff, Archspire, like shit like that.
I fucking love Archspire.
And like
I'm definitely more the sort of the prog guy.
Yeah. which comes through in his drumming. And I'm like your brutal death metal guy, I guess,
So like it comes together. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love old school death metal shit, the fucking Tarkus and shit like that. And I think that's another thing that we all draw from too is collectively kind of like the
Dying Fetus, Carcass, fuck yeah.
Collectively, we all draw from like the old school type shit, but then as far as any of the kind of newer-ish type stuff, we then kind of all have our different
different branches. Same trunk, different branch.
We're kind of all bringing the same thing, but something different on top.
Yeah, I think collectively, like all your guys' influences really mesh well in your music. I actually listened to your guys' album on Spotify earlier twice in a row because, dude, I fucking loved it, honestly. Like, that was the first, like, long play I did of it, and it was awesome, man. And, like, I don't know why, but the two bands I was thinking of the most at the time were, like, Beneath the Massacre and Annotations of an Autopsy. Like, I heard a lot of that in there, and I don't know, I just fucking loved it, man. Like, I don't know. It was great.
I used to listen to Beneath the Massacre quite a bit, and I never would have mentioned, like, even thought of them as an influence. So that's fucking sweet.
Yeah, dude, they kind of fell off the face of the earth. Like, they kind of peaked like around, like, I don't know, like 2009, 2010. I think they released like 2 albums, and then they just kind of fell off the face of the fucking earth. Like, I don't know.
God, they were insane, man. I really liked their shit.
So, what my favorite song that you guys have on the album that I've the 2008 Slave to Inscript is that's right Slave to Inscript.
Scripts of Anguish.
Scripts of Anguish. Rise. What the fuck is it? I'm sorry. Rise to Enslave. I'm a little fucking drunk. I'm a little fucking drunk right now. I've slammed like 5 beers in the last like hour. Rise to Enslave. That is my favorite song that you guys have on that 2018 album. I can't remember the song that Greg told me about, the really jammy one that you guys performed live at Monk's. Molten? That song I cannot fucking wait for. What is your guys' favorite song that you guys play live?
Oh man, one that we play live. It's a hard one because
currently or of all time.
Yeah.
Either or, I guess.
Let's do both. Let's do both. Fuck it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh man,
you want to start? I mean, of all time, I would have to say probably a song called Encore Horror that we used to play back in the Cymatics of Death days, and that was probably one one of my favorite ones to play because it was very, just kind of jamming along, cruising speed, and it was heavy at parts, and changed it up a little bit here or there in areas, and that one was always really fun for me to play live. And as far as currently, I guess I would have to say something like a song. Dismissed, I guess, is probably one of my more favorite.
I was gonna say Dismissed is my current one too. So
I don't know. It's just faster paced, and it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some techie parts. It's got some blast beats. It's got a ton of double kick, which I love. But
My favorite is Insanity's Grasp from Scripts of Anguish. That's my favorite to play live currently. Of all time, I don't know. I can't say. But right now, I'm just going to say right now, that's my favorite.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to have to agree with Greg that I think my current one is Dismissed. All time, the first one that pops into my head is The 10th Man from our Decimation 7 TV. That's probably number one for me all time.
Fuck yeah. So are you guys aware of like the name that you guys have so Riley and I are not originally from Iowa at all. Like we're from Illinois. Okay. We come from a town called Danville. It's like 3 hours south of Chicago, central Illinois style. When we moved here, you guys were the first band that was dropped in our lap. I mean, you guys checked out Mutilated by Zombie. Are you guys aware of that kind of stigmatism that comes with you guys? Because it's fucking cool, dude.
No.
It's fucking cool. Like I was at work one day and I was I've been to a couple shows here in Dubuque and I have not been a real big fan of the music scene here. And you guys, in my opinion, you guys are the saving grace of this fucking town when it comes to metal.
Fucking right,
dude. Honestly, because like I said, when I first heard you guys, I'd been in a car for 4 fucking hours. I had a headache. I had a screaming fucking kid in the back seat. Like it was not a good fucking day. And I saw you guys, and I went from being that guy sitting in the back corner, just kind of jiving to holy fuck, I need to talk to these guys because this is the shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that, but I mean, honestly,
you guys have a fucking name here.
I feel like $100 or $1 million.
Hell yeah, man! Hell yeah.
Well, with inflation now, $1 million.
Right? Yeah. No shit. I did kind of want to circle back to what I said earlier. I actually didn't mean to say Beneath the Massacre. I meant to say Burning the Masses. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to them.
I know them too.
Yeah, that's
I'm not familiar with them.
They're fucking badass. You should check them out.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, because that's the band I was thinking of more. Like Beneath the Massacre, I don't know why that came to me. Speaking of them, I did.
Is Cameron involved? Is Big Chocolate involved with Burning the Masses?
I don't know. I actually know very little about that band.
That sounds like something I think he's a part of.
That would be fucking badass because that band is insanely good.
I could be totally wrong, but I believe he was also in something like I don't know, Seven-Eyed. We're not going to go there.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I just wanted to clarify the band I was talking about, but I'm gonna say no. I mean,
Burning the Masses. I'll check it out.
Yeah, they kind of fell off the face of the earth like a decade ago, and I was looking it up on Spotify a few seconds ago. Beneath the Massacre actually did release, I think they released an album 3 years ago or something, but it didn't really get a lot of attention for some reason. I don't know.
I got their first I guess bigger label release, so I guess it'd be their second album.
Yeah,
that shit's pretty crazy.
Oh, that's fucking insane. That's like the
Canadian stuff.
Yeah, super tech death, Archspire, the Faceless kind of style, but
crazy shit.
All that good shit.
So I understand that you guys have a new album coming relatively soon, and you guys are recording yourself. I mean, what kind of issues have you guys run into as recording this? I mean, it's got to be fucking hard. I know that I believe Jason told me at the last show that I saw you guys at that you guys ran into some issues while in the studio, not your own, but with the label. So what kind of issues have you had since breaking off from that label and doing it yourself?
I guess recording at home, some things because what we did was we all recorded at our own homes. Like I recorded all my guitar parts here in this room. Greg recorded his drums at his house, Jason at his house. Some things were, since I haven't ever done, like even though we self-released our other albums, I've just been getting into this kind of home recording stuff. Problems were, figuring out how to split my signal so where I could get a clean, direct guitar tone as well as a dirty tone so that I can then go back and reamp. So that was kind of a thing to where I bought my own reamping device, which that is a whole new thing in itself, but it's essentially being able to go back and change the tone of your guitar, but with the same performance.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I've messed around a little bit with that. It's kind of complicated. It gets a little weird.
Yeah, it's very complicated, but like that was a big issue for me, figuring out how to split the signal correctly and then figuring out how to go back and reamp it, and that was a big one for me anyways.
You want to
I just play bass, so I just plug into my interface and I record the shit. And I'm kind of all right. I mean, it's a little more versatile. We're just recording a straight bass DI, and I mean, in the reality of it, you can do anything within EQ and what.
Yeah, bass is a little more versatile.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we are reamping, but I mean, aside from that, as far as the recording process goes. Oh, I did record the whole album twice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right, yeah. I did do the whole thing twice because I fucked up the first time I recorded it and didn't realize what I was doing. Well, I thought I was all right, and then I realized something later, and I had to go back and do it all again. So, yeah, I did the whole new album twice over.
Fuck.
Like, dude, that has been just so fucking discouraging.
But it wasn't at the same time, because going back in and redoing the things that I had to do, it sounded better. I felt better doing it. I felt better about it than I did the first time around.
That's good, yeah.
Great, yeah. I think it ended up better, but I did have to do the damn thing twice.
As far as drums, I try to keep it as analog as possible, with mic placement, just recording acoustic drums, so it ends up being, a battle of mic placement and, your tunings of your toms and just making sure the sound is consistent throughout, because I kind of did it in chunks, it wasn't like, I don't think anybody really did that.
Yeah, like a full song. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, one day I would do this song, and then another day, I'd do this song.
So mics can't move.
So
and stuff.
Right, yeah, everything's got to stay exactly where it is. And I was taking like a shit ton of photos to make sure nothing was moving.
I play bass. I don't worry about it.
Right.
I was gonna say, man, fuck.
It makes me jealous of these guys. They can just kind of plug in
Right.
and go, and I'm like,
which makes sense because the guy's got a mic on most of his drums and overhead mic, so I can see where drums are probably the worst.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Our microphones on it, but sometimes you just got to draw the line where it's at.
No, I hear you, man. I was gonna say, like, as far as like in a studio setting, like recording drums is probably the longest process out of everything, and the hardest process. Like, it has to be perfect. And
when I was in Flat Black, we spent it was probably almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we spent a couple hours a day one just setting up. But we were in an actual studio.
Yeah, but even so, it took a couple hours to do everything.
So I'm just saying it would have been harder to do on your own because we were in a studio with help from people.
right. But I mean, there's also like the comfort factor when you're just doing it at home. Like, you're not necessarily paying for that time. Like, it's on your time, and you're there's not as much pressure on you. Like, you don't have a guy behind a mixer and a computer being like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" Like,
If I wanted to do it 100 times, I could.
right? Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword, though. You'll start getting lost up in all the little tiny things and be like, I could do it just that little tiny bit better.
So hopefully the new album is really good.
Right.
I can't wait for it, man. So Greg said earlier that he wrote one of the songs. Is that for most of the songs? Like, is Greg the mastermind behind the band, or like is it individual? Like, you guys come up with something and say, hey, this is a sweet ass fucking riff. Let's build off of this.
I mean, like I said earlier, but when I first met these guys, they came to me with a whole bunch of tunes and everything was already sick. And just kind of over time, I started, showing them like, hey, I can do this and show them this thing. And then now it's kind of evolved into definitely, I mean, it's always been very collaborative writing.
Yeah.
But every now and again, somebody's going to come in with something. Jason will show up with a whole song. Gosh, I think every single one of us has just shown up with a song on this album. Yeah. Where it's just front to back done,
So, and it's kind of been like that. I mean, I know for me personally, and I think for all of us personally, throughout anything we've ever done, everybody has had their song that they wrote. And then you have a mix, like some songs we all sat and wrote together.
A collaboration.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like when I was saying earlier, my favorite song to play live was Insanity's Grasp. That's a song that Greg wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Greg's favorite song that he said in Encore Horror, that was a song that I wrote. You know what I mean? So it's like we all bring to the table and then we fill in the gaps with stuff that we write together while we're physically together. So there's a big mix of it, I'd say. It's pretty much everybody has a good, centered collaboration. Yeah.
Sometimes you could just make the game. Who wrote this one? Right. Sometimes we forget ourselves.
We do. Greg before, like I wrote that riff. He's like, "Nah, dude, I didn't." And I'm like, "Because I fucking wrote that riff."
You guys have such a solid dynamic, man. I have enjoyed this so fucking much.
For sure.
When it comes to like a dream festival, something that you like out of a fairy tale, like what would be your dream festival lineup with you guys a part of it? Who would be in it? What would the name of that fucking festival be? And where the fuck would you have it at?
That's a big question.
I don't give a shit. We're here with the big boys.
I mean, if we got free reign of anything,
like in the world, or
in the fucking world, dude. It could be back in the alive, dead, not available bands. Like,
I almost feel like you're gonna have to give us like a limit.
Hey, no. How about this?
We can just go forever.
We'll all name 3. Go ahead.
3 bands, perfect.
This will be our fest. We got 3, 6, 9, and then we're the 10th band.
Absolutely.
Nice. That works. That works.
Yeah.
Okay, something like
specific festival, like with no specific bands that like we would want. Like, that would be awesome. Like, just that whole aesthetic of that whole festival is amazing.
Oh man,
I don't know. For me, it would be like I've been really getting into the new death metal. For me, it would be like 200 Stab Wounds, Undeath, Mutilated by Zombies.
Of course.
God, there's Frozen Soul riffs. There's so many new death metal bands that rip so much that like my dream is for what actually could be in the future, But otherwise, old school Cannibal Corpse. I mean, without say, Cannibal fucking Corpse.
We saw them in 2008, man.
I get to see them December 5th, actually. Up in Madison.
Nice.
They're the grandfathers. Well, maybe not, but I love them. I don't know.
Good old Corpse Grinder. What about the rest of you?
Yeah.
What about the other 2?
Well, I mean, like I said, Bloodbath for sure, which is, a fucking pipe dream. But,
with Michael Ackerfeld or
yeah, Michael Ackerfeld. He said Michael Ackerfeld, and I want to be Michael Ackerfeld era Bloodbath would be cooler.
Fucking A.
Right. Yeah, I guess I need to be more specific. I don't
No,
know.
I just felt like throwing that out there. No, this is your lineup, man.
Right, but yeah, Gojira.
Nice.
Like 08 era Gojira.
Nice.
Like 05 or something. Somewhere around there. When I first heard that band, I was like, holy shit, this stuff is just so cool because they could have such a killer fucking heavy riff, and then they could break it down and then bring it back, and that band, and the top 10 for that band for sure.
Greg, do you have a favorite Gojira song? Like, we were big into Gojira, dude. What's your favorite fucking song?
Yeah, Johnson's Ouroboros, man. I don't know. There's so many good ones. Fuck. You know, you got shit like flying whales, and you got stuff like the heaviest matter in the universe.
Ouroboros.
Yeah, Ouroboros. Yeah, still.
He said pick one, not fucking.
Hey man, like you said, it's hard. I understand. I'm a huge Gojira fan. I get it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, third one. So many choices.
Oh,
all right. Yeah, I mean, I might steal that one as well because Morbid Angel's tough. Beat the feet. Yeah.
Jason,
dude, I think I'm just gonna go straight up fucking Cannibal Corpse, Dying Fetus.
Nice.
And to throw in a newer one, Surreption.
Oh yeah, Surreption.
God fucking damn! Why didn't I bring it up?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
That band is phenomenal.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm very disappointed not one of you said Necrophagist as a headliner.
I'll pray to Muhammad.
Yeah, right.
Man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
One of these days, it's gonna come out of nowhere. We're gonna get a new album. It's gonna happen. We don't know when, but it'll happen.
We can only hope so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, where can we go from what we've already received?
Yeah, you got a point, man. You got a point.
I almost don't even want it anymore because I don't want to end up having it come out if it does at some point, and then everybody's just disappointed. You're always spiking out.
Yeah, it'd kind of be like a Tool situation. It almost
don't even fucking bring that bullshit into this fucking studio. Oh my god, that was the worst fucking 10 years? How long was it from album to album?
It was like I don't know, like 10 or 12 years.
It's a meme at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Garbage.
Yeah.
It's fucking garbage.
I thought the funniest thing about when that album came out was a lot of the critics were saying like this would have been a good Tool album if it came out right after 10,000 Days. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? Like you got a point there. Oh man, good choices though all around. I love it. It's great.
So guys, it has been fun talking with you guys. I absolutely cannot wait to see you guys. Monks, I believe you said August 5th?
August 6th.
August
6th.
You will see the three of us fucking there. What's that?
It should be banging. I imagine with Dredge's return, we're going to have that fucker at capacity.
Oh, absolutely.
Shit.
Count me in. I'll fucking see you guys
I'll be there fucking front of stage and everything, headbanging with you guys, getting down.
Hell yeah.
So if you guys haven't checked out Mutilated by Zombies, go ahead and check out their Bandcamp, their Spotify. They've got a show on the 6th. If you're a Dubuque listener, please fucking come to that shit. It is going to be off the fucking chain. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Campbell.
I am your co-host, Riley Wallen, and to my left I have the one and only...
the brain and dipshit Jake.
And we also have Jason, Greg, and Josh by Mutilated by fucking Zombies. Thank you guys so fucking much for coming in and joining us in this fuckfest, dude. It's been so great to have you guys here, dude. Stay misfortunate.
And always listen to Mom.
You had to take a drink right at the fucking end of our closing. I don't know why you did that.
It added to the ambience.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's all about the fucking weight. Thank
right,
you
man.
guys for being here so fucking much.
Guys.
You guys have a good one, man.
I'll see you on the 6th.
Woo!
Thank you for joining us. Remember, always listen to Mom.